We've been in Sydney, Australia for one day, and we realized how expensive this city really is. So today we are exploring Sydney, Australia. We're gonna see how much 100 USD can get us. Now, throughout this video, we're not gonna be just buying things to buy things to spend money. We just wanna show what an average cost is for just typical things throughout the day. But stick around to the end of the video, because throughout this video, we're gonna be telling you a bunch of free things that we're not gonna get to today, but also expensive things that you might potentially wanna do that are way outside of our budget. We have 100 USD to spend today, so let's see how far that takes us. Good morning and welcome to our second full day here in Sydney, and today we are going to explore as much as we can. We are starting in Pyrmont. We're going to be walking to Botanical Gardens and the Central Business District today, but we're seeing all of it with a twist.
Welcome to the business center of downtown Sydney. And let me tell you, Sydney is huge and there are lots of things to do in this major, amazing city.
So right now we are on a street called Market Street, which I think is the most popular street in this city, because look at this. Wow. Woo.
There is a lookout spot in the Westfield Mall right behind me that has a 360 view of the entire city. But I will tell you, it's 90 Australian dollars per person to go to the top, which is totally outside of our budget. But we did find yesterday another 360 view that you could go visit for much more reasonable price.
But as we walk through the Central Business District here in Sydney, it is definitely the busiest part of Sydney that we've been to, but we're making our way to the Botanical Gardens, which is our first place.
Got a chicken schnitzel sandwich for 12 Australian dollars, which is $7.80 USD.
So we were told by another Aussie couple that we follow on Instagram that these little birds that we see everywhere, they call them bin chickens, because I guess in the summertime they like feed off the food in the garbage can. The actual name is called an ibis bird, and they are super cool looking. So I don't know if they're pests or people just don't mind them. They seem to walk up to you and want food, but if you don't give it to them, they walk away, so maybe not so bad. But we are currently at the Circular Quay, which is the bottom part of the harbor here. Just from lunch, we are almost a quarter of the way through our $100. But we are off to the Botanical, and we do want to save some money because there's something towards the end of the video that we really, really want to do. So hopefully we have enough of the budget to do it, so stick around. Another thing I appreciate about Australia very much is they have public restrooms all over the city, and they're very clean and very nice. It is currently September, and we just arrived here a couple of days ago. And being from the United States, it is currently our end of summer, early fall. So temperatures are very different, but here in Australia, because the seasons are opposite, it is the beginning of spring, and it's nice to see all the flowers. So if you can plan to be here in September, October, it might be the best months of the year here. Full disclosure, did not know how big the Botanical Gardens are, and they are gigantic. We've been walking for a good like 20 minutes. I don't even think we're halfway through it, but we have a spot that we're trying to get to that supposedly has a great view of the Opera House and the bridge. Sam's leading the way.
I think we found a gem. It is not a hidden gem, but it is a gem location to see the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Opera House. It's absolutely stunning. Like, no one is over here. Like, a few people, but not a lot. So if you come here, this is totally free to go into the Botanic Gardens. And if you come here, like, come to this lookout spot. I'll put it on a map right here. How's it going?
I think this is the only bench that's not in the sun. So in America, we call this vanilla dipped cone. They call it a chop top. 6 Australian, which is like, what, 4-ish USD? What delicious.
Welcome to arguably the most famous thing in Australia. And maybe like one of the top most famous things in the world. But welcome to the Syndey Opera House. Sometimes I have to pinch myself when we come to places like this because like you see this in every photo and video and like it's right there. It's right there.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need.
I don't know why, but I'm really shocked that the Opera House is tile. I don't know why I thought anything else, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, why is it made out of tile?
Somewhere in the great unknown, when I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again?
As of now, we don't see a way to really go in to explore like even just the entryway of the Opera House for free, but you can pay for like tours, and they have a whole bunch of kinds of tours that you can do, like an Opera House tour, a backstage tour, like tons of different options, but they're in the hundreds of Australian dollars. So a little outside of our budget today, unfortunately, but I do imagine it's pretty cool to go on one of those tours in like such an iconic building. So if you do go on a tour, let us know how it is in the comments below, and maybe someday we'll come back and be able to go on a tour here.
So Sam had mentioned that there's a bunch of tours that you can do on the inside that are crazy expensive, but I also read that there's a general tour that you can pay for, and I think it was around 40 or 45 Australian, which would for sure put us over our budget, so we're not going to do it. We're saving that for food.
See them setting up right there? They're getting ready for the Syndey Marathon, which I'm running in 2 days. I'm going to do a whole video on the marathon while I'm running, so stay tuned for that. But in 2 days, I'm going to run the whole Syndey Marathon. And the finish line is right there, right at the Syndey Opera House. Like, how epic of a finish line is that? Getting to the opera bar, and oh my gosh, I wish so badly we could get a drink down here. This is epic. What a great place to get a drink and look at the views. Like, what? Look at this. I bet drinks down there are so expensive, but like, how cool. I just Googled and I found a brewery that's actually on the, like directly on the other side of the harbor. So we're gonna walk from the Syndey Opera House all the way to the other side. It's also so beautiful and so lively. Like, look at this harbor. It is so much fun. I just find this to be so active. Like, what an active, fun city. I went for a run in the morning and it was so crowded, like full of runners, bikers, rollerbladers. Like, I just loved that so much. Thank you.
Okay, so after these beers, we are currently at 47 Australian, which is about 30 USD. So out of our $100 USD budget for the day, we're doing pretty good considering we've walked probably like 5 miles. I know we have a lot left, but I know where we're gonna eat dinner is gonna take up almost all of that budget. So we're trying to save as much as we can for dinner so we can at least have a nice dinner on the wharf. Earlier we wanted to go to the aquarium, which was gonna be inside of our budget, but as we were walking around earlier, we realized it closed at 4 p.m. and we didn't know this till 3 p.m. So a little late on that one. But since we filmed this on Friday, there are a bunch of markets throughout the city that are completely free, and that looked really amazing to go to, but they're only on Saturdays. The one that I really want to go to was called Glebe, but it's only on Saturdays. So if you're here on Saturdays, there are tons of free markets to go to. There are tons of ferries and boat rides. You can walk to the top of the bridge. You can go to the pylon.
It is the most beautiful, perfect, wonderful spring evening here in Sydney, Australia. And that was like the perfect happy hour pint that we needed. But like, look how absolutely beautiful it is tonight. And I don't know if you can see her, but the Sydney Opera House is also just like being beautiful as she can be tonight. But we just finished up our pint and we're gonna head to like the neighborhood that's right next to where we are, called the Rocks. And the Rocks is famous for a couple of reasons. Mostly because there are lots of free walking tours that you can do in this area, and I guess lots of like haunted walking tours, which would be super cool. And because it's like this colonial time meets modern era. There's a lot of contemporary restaurants in this area, and there are lots of like old alleyways that look a little European, which I'm super looking forward to seeing.
I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty dead. Like, no one here. And I almost looked at staying here. It's crazy expensive, but I'm glad I didn't, because there's like no one here. There's one restaurant right here, and that's it. But yeah, I don't know. I read that this is like the most happening area in the whole city. Well, as far as like tourists go, but I'm not sure. I don't see a whole lot going on. Look.
We found where all the people are. This is the center part of the Rocks, and it looks so much fun. There's like a German beer house that I really want to go to if we didn't have so much to do still today. How cool! This would be a fun place to come at nighttime, I think. Welcome to King Street Wharf, or Darling Harbor, and it is absolutely beautiful tonight. Like, you want to come see the best sunset, this might be the best place to come see sunset here in Sydney. But the main thing that you want to do here is eat and drink. There are lots of things for nightlife here, lots of happy hours, lots of cruises behind me, like dinner cruises.
So if you made it this far into the video and you're wondering, wow, they have so much left of their budget, they're gonna blow all of that on dinner, wait until you see what an average dinner costs.
I think we stumbled upon like a very good place to eat here on the wharf, and we're right next to the Pyrmont Bridge, which we started our video on this morning. And this restaurant is called Cargo, so it's still pretty expensive. Like, you're not gonna get like your bakery foods like we got earlier today. We got a sandwich for $7.50, so you're not gonna get like the cheap stuff. But I think being on the pier and in like a very central area, it's actually like reasonably priced. What we're seeing is the average price for like a lager or an Australian beer is about 16 to 19 Australian dollars. And then we're also seeing food to be about like 25 to 50 Australian dollars for an entree. So that's the average range we're seeing for food here in Australia. Well, it has been absolutely a wonderful day. We have walked over 10 miles. We have seen the Syndey Opera House, the Botanic Gardens, the Piermont Bridge, the Darling Harbor, the King Street Wharf, Central Business District, and I know I'm missing like 15 other things because we've seen so much and we've done so much today. So hit that subscribe button, like, comment, do all the things, and until next time, we will see you on the go.
Good afternoon and welcome to Ow Now Brown Cow. Ow Now Brown Cow. Good morning and welcome to our second is our second day? Yeah.
12 Australian dollars. We got a chicken schnitzel.
But the actual name is with ibis. We just want to show what you, whoa, hello. Almost just fell backwards.
I think we found a gem. It's not a hinted gem, but it's a gem because you can see it. You can't see it. You can't see it. You started? Okay. We just almost ran right into someone. We're almost to the best part of happy hour. Oh. Yeah. But you need to be like, come this way.
Okay. Right
yeah. Yep.
I know, it's the problem. You can't see that.
I know. Okay, actually, I'm gonna do this. This is perfect. Yep. Okay, come this way. Yep.
Right here?
Yep. Right there. And we're gonna be doing, ooh, there's like a strobe light right now. Whew.